What's up, guys? So this is gonna be my first movie review video ever. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a big cinephile, but I want to try to do more movie reviews on this channel, and this is the first one. And the movie we're going to talk about today is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I just saw this movie in Hanoi yesterday. I'm recording this a day after I see it. I saw it at CGV L'Amour Theater here in Hanoi. Awesome experience, by the way. So I got a lot of stuff to talk about the Super Mario movie. First though, I want to talk about my history with Super Mario Galaxy, like the games themselves. So if you don't want to watch me rant about it, just skip to the time I put in this video if you don't want to watch the rant. Alright, now, first off, I want to just start off with saying I grew up in early 2000s, so that's when Super Mario Galaxy came out. So any kid in that era absolutely loved that game. But there was a time period where before I made YouTube videos, I was finishing up my first year of college, and I was pretty depressed because just some personal stuff happened that first year. So I was really upset. And then when it ended, like end of April, I just, there were a bunch of things I was doing that year to help me cope with what happened. One was pursuing God, number one priority. Second was working out as much as I can, doing Muay Thai, weightlifting, all that stuff. And third was getting back into playing a bunch of video games, like games from my childhood, games that I've heard about, all that stuff. There were 5 main video games I played that year, 2024. But the best one out of all of them and the most memorable was Super Mario Galaxy. Now I played the first and second game, but it was really, I love both games, by the way. The second one I love, but there's just something about the first one, like the story, the ambiance, the cinematic style that the game took, the whole atmosphere, the missions, the characters, and the music, especially the music. I'm still gonna die on still saying that Super Mario Galaxy has the best music ever in any video game. So it was just such an incredible experience. And I played it when I was young, but I never really had a strong connection with it. But playing it again, I just fell more and more in love with it. It just helped me forget all the bad stuff that happened in that first year of college, and it just made me feel like just so relieved almost, along with pursuing God and working out, just playing that game. And I played a bunch of video games that year, but that one was definitely the most memorable. Alright, so there was my quick rant. So, as you know, when Nintendo first announced they were making the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I was absolutely hyped. I was just like a giddy kid all over again, trying to think back to when I played the first video game. So the question, is this movie good? Yeah, I think it is. I enjoyed the first movie, and I think everyone can agree that if you love or if you enjoyed the first movie, you're gonna enjoy this movie. It takes a lot of things from the first movie and I think makes it better. There's some stuff that they still kind of fall short upon, but overall I think it is a very, very fun movie. Let's go over the things that I did like about the movie and the things I didn't like. And I'm just gonna try to keep this video as spoiler free as possible. It's hard to talk about this movie without getting into spoilers, but I'm gonna try to do my best. So first, the good stuff I want to talk about the movie is I like how they used some of the characters more. Because in the first movie, it felt like maybe they only used some characters like Luigi and a few others. I feel like Luigi should have had a bigger arc in the first movie. But in this movie, he has a much bigger arc. I feel like they used every character pretty good. Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Peach, Toad. I feel like all the main characters get their time to shine. Bowser Jr. And this is not a spoiler because it was revealed Fox is in the game. And I thought they were just gonna show him once and then be done with him, but no, he actually does play a pretty good role in this movie. There's also a not gonna say who, but there's more surprise cameo characters, so stay tuned for that. Another thing I loved is the animation. That's one thing about Mario Galaxy, is the animation was absolutely beautiful, especially like when it came out in like 2007. So just really hoping they stepped up their animation game and visuals, and they absolutely did. This movie is absolutely beautiful. I don't really think there's any shot of it that looks ugly. I think they really stepped up their game and did the best they could, and it paid off because it looks fantastic. And of course, you know how I love the Mario Galaxy music. They play the music in this movie along with some music from other Mario games, so the music hits so hard. References were also pretty cool. People have been complaining about the references, but to be honest, I enjoyed them. There's not just references to Galaxy, there's reference to like Odyssey, some of the Wii games, like older Wii games, 8-bit games, and yeah, just any Mario game, there's always going to be some reference to them in this movie. And it's just crazy to me still that Donald Glover is voicing freaking Yoshi in this movie. And there are bits where I can hear his voice and stuff, but I honestly feel like Yoshi had a very fun and cool role in this movie. I don't feel like he was sidelined. Like I said before, I feel like they used every character pretty well here. Most of the characters anyway, I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, Yoshi had his time to shine. And I think the story that they created for the most part is like not an Oscar-winning story by any means, but it does the job for a Mario movie. It's what you expect from a Mario movie, to be honest. And I think the story they created was very decent for what they were going for. All right, so that's most of the stuff I like. Now let's get into things that I did not like. For starters, Rosalina. Now hear me out. I love Rosalina, and I think she's a crucial part about the Mario lore now, thanks to Galaxy. But in this movie, she doesn't do a lot. Like I said before, like how most characters get their time to shine, Rosalina doesn't really get that opportunity, which kind of sucks because I was expecting her to have a very crucial role in this movie because she did in the first game. But in this movie, she doesn't really do a ton. Like in the beginning of the movie, she's in it like quite a bit, but other than that, you know, I don't know. I just feel like maybe they didn't use her as much as they should have, which is disappointing. And they do change up the lore in this movie. I'm not gonna say what because spoilers, but the lore in the video game is not like the lore in this movie, so just be aware of that. Some other things I didn't like is, I guess, it does kind of cut to a lot of scenes quickly. Like there's some times where you'll want like a scene to continue and then it'll just flash to another scene quickly. Like there's so much stuff happening in this movie being shot at your eyes that, you know, sometimes it's hard to take it in. I wouldn't say the cameos are like, say, Space Jam and New Legacy, where they just throw reference at every step, but at a certain point it does kind of get a bit repetitive. I still like had not a huge problem with it, but it's definitely something I noticed. I will admit there's also some cringing moments in it, like moments where I'm kind of like maybe some song choices they make or some of the lines delivered. It's a bit cringy, but I guess, you know, it's for kids. And that's most of what I can talk about without spoilers. The good that I liked and the bad I didn't like. So at the end of it, what do I give Super Mario Galaxy? I'm gonna give it a nice 8.2 out of 10. I gave the first movie about an 8 out of 10. If I'm super critical about this movie, I'd probably also give it less than 8. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. Was it absolutely mind-blowing? No. Sorry, I just had to move where I am right now. I'm in my little hostel room right now. But yeah, Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think if you like the first movie, you'll definitely like this movie. If you like childish, fun movies, I think you'll like it. It's just enjoyable for me because I love Mario games, especially Mario Galaxy, so I found it enjoyable. So I'd recommend you'd see it, honestly. Is it the most fantastic movie I've seen? No, but it is a fun movie. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this video.
I'm working currently on my travel in Vietnam, specifically Hanoi, and stay tuned for more videos. See you guys soon.